Hello everyone, and welcome to my video about North End past and present, and I hope you will find this very interesting. If you do, please share it, like it and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family to have a look, and please let me know. On my journey through the archives, I found many interesting facts about North End, and I've tried to include as many as I can. But how did it all start? The area around Kingston Crescent became known as the Manor of Kingston in 1194, when it all came into the hands of King Richard I. King's Tun, spelt with a U, not an O, means King's Farm or Estate. The first documented road here was built in 1773, and this area of Kingston Crescent and on the corner of London Road was known as Kingston Cross, according to the Ordnance Survey map of that year. In 1861, Kingston Crescent had the name of Crescent Villas and had 4 groups of houses on the north side. From about 1164 and until 1538, the lands of North End were in the hands of Southwick Priory. The priory was dissolved in 1538, and the lands were granted to Anne of Cleves on her marriage to Henry VIII in January 1540. This marriage was annulled on the 9th of July 1540, as King Henry VIII had the marriage declared unconsummated. King Henry VIII then married on 28th of July 1540, just 3 weeks after the annulment, and the lands of the North End passed to Catherine. Catherine was executed by beheading on the 13th of July 1542, just 18 months later, for the presumption of treason. And in July 1543, Henry gave the lands to Winchester College to finance his wars. The land remained farmland for over 300 years. Ahead of us, we have Rudmore Roundabout. And in 1800s, this was a pond, and it was called Reed Mere. The Old English word for pond is mere, so this was called Reed Pond. But you can see how the wording has changed from Reed Mere to Rudmore over the last couple of centuries. So this is a busy roundabout, although this time of the morning it is not too bad. We are walking east away from Rudmore Roundabout. You can see in front of us the Sovereigns and pub and the Travelodge. This was previously Chapman's laundry until the laundry had to close and the building was destroyed. Chapman's laundry was first established in 1887 by a lady called Elizabeth Chapman, and it rapidly expanded. By the 1960s, it had moved to Kingston Crescent, and it was a feature of the local area for some time before modern day changes caused it to be closed. On the north side of the road, you can see the local police station here, which is just coming up. The true history of the Portsmouth City Police Force commenced in 1836, when an advertisement appeared in the Hampshire Telegraph inviting applicants for the posts of superintendent, 3 inspectors, 3 sub-inspectors and 24 constables. The pay for a constable was 17 shillings a week, minus the uniform, and applicants needed to be under the age of 40 and over 5'7" in height. The first superintendent, now called Chief Constable, was a man called George Robbins, who served from 1839 to 1842. And the first police station in Portsmouth was in Spring Street in Lamport. In 1967, Portsmouth City Police was moved into the constabulary of Hampshire. Kingston Crescent Police Station first opened in 1962 and then was closed again in 2016. Development of the streets of North End began in 1873, and by 1885 Powers Court Road and Chichester Road were all built. Around this time, North End House, North End Villa and North End Lodge were built near to the west of Stumpton Avenue. By the latter part of the 1800s, North End had become fashionable because it was outside of the noise and dirt of Portsmouth. But it was relatively easy to travel to work in town by horse or carriage and by horse-drawn tram. In the early 20th century, the tram was electrified and the tram depot was built in Gladys Avenue. In the 1920s and early 1930s, this area of North End, London Road, started to become retail, and it became a very fashionable area for people to come, and a very popular area for people to come to do their shopping. On the corner here, for a long time, was the Midland Bank, HSBC Bank, but with the change of banking and the way things are going, this building was closed a few years ago, and as you can see, it's now an accountancy practice. Specsavers has been built on the same site as the old HSBC and Midland Bank. And we've seen some changes over the years in North End. Previously there's been the Marks and Spencers along here as well, but unfortunately that no longer here. One of the few banks left remaining is the Lloyds Bank. It's just coming up. Again, you can see that the building has been there for some time. It's been a bank of Lloyds for quite a while also. Further up we have the Odeon Cinema. Which was built in the 1930s in an Art Deco style. Unfortunately, this cinema closed in 2016. Opposite us you can see the Betfred and CEX exchange. That previously was McDonald's, but a few years ago Portsmouth Council decided to make this a no parking area, and basically footfall for the McDonald's fell through the floor and they decided it was no longer viable. Subsequent to that, as you can see, they are now allow street parking again, but I'm afraid it was too late for the McDonald's. Along here we also had, at that time, KFC and a few other shops didn't manage to make the downturn. We are got a number of, like most high streets have got nowadays, charity shops. But luckily some of the banks do exist, and currently we still have a TUI. This building on the left here is the local Lidl. Lidl's took over from the Co-op a couple of years ago. Down here on the right we have Naomi House and Jack's Place. This previously was a video shop, but that's gone now due to the lack of videos. So John Baker Wetherspoons, open early on a Sunday morning for breakfast. Costa open. So this is the Odeon I was talking about in the video. So this site here, the Poundland, used to be the site of the Woolworths before that business closed forever. And on this side of the road we have Halifax. Fantastic old Austin 7 there.